Well, hello, my name is Ralph Cunnington, and I'd like to introduce to you my new book. It's called Perfect Unity, and it's out now. I think we human beings, we have an innate desire for unity in diversity. You see it in relationships where the saying, opposites attract, proves to be true time and time again. We also see it in communities where people love to rub shoulders with people of different cultures, languages and traditions. But the reality is often that it's much harder in practice than in theory. Those differences that initially attracted a couple together sadly end up being the very things that drive them apart. And communities that love the idea of multiculturalism often find it much harder to do in practice, even within the church. So what is the answer? Well, in my book, I take a piece of ancient wisdom. There was a phrase first used in the 4th century by the Bishop of Alexandria, Augustine. It's a very short phrase, it's just 3 words, but it's profound. Distinct, but inseparable. Augustine used those 3 words to describe the relationship between the persons of the Trinity. So Christians worship one God who has eternally existed as 3 distinct but inseparable persons, Father, Son and Holy Spirit. And what I seek to show in this book is how that same phrase is key to us rightly understanding the gospel. It also helps us to understand some of the most tricky issues in the Christian life, like the relationship between God's sovereignty and our responsibility in prayer and evangelism. I also seek to show how that phrase explains our identity as Christians and how we grow as Christians. And really importantly, it shows us who we are to be as the church. The world right now is tearing itself apart over identity politics, but Christians are called to be different. We are one church made up of numerous distinct but inseparable people with distinct gifts, ethnicities and gender. The distinction in the church is not something to be despised, it's something to be celebrated, and unity has to be pursued as we come together around our common purpose to worship our distinct but inseparable God. Orthodoxy, sound doctrine, believing sound things, must lead on to orthopraxy, living it out and worshipping our God in light of it. So at the end of every chapter in this book, there's a section called Living It Out, which looks at how we live out what we've learned. And there's also a number of questions that are aimed at helping you in a small group to go deeper into what we've been looking at. The book is out now and it's available in all the usual places.